What's up, y'all? This is Jonathan back with Firebox Campaign. Welcome back to the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Today I have an A-tube style carry handle Bushmaster chambered in 5.56 1-9 twist with a car stock. This is going to be my gun to compete in Lethal Weapons Texas coming up pretty soon. And to complete my LARP, I'm going to be painting this guy a desert-themed camouflage. So stay with me. We're going to paint this. I'm going to show you a couple things that you need to do before you get started. Hopefully this is an informative video for you guys, so thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to painting. So this is my first paint job. I haven't actually spray canned a rifle yet. So all the research I have done, I have a couple things here that you're gonna need. You're gonna need some tape, some painter's tape, and obviously your paint. Now, the style you wish to paint your rifle is totally up to you and personalized to your personality. I'm gonna use some mesh lining here, laundry bag, so I can give it a little bit extra detail in some areas once it's done. My plan is to do a tan base coat with some accented browns and greens on top. I think this is going to turn out pretty cool. I hope it does, because once you paint, it's kind of hard to go back. So before you paint your rifle, there are some areas of concern that you're going to want to tape off. The muzzle device obviously is going to want to tape off. You're not going to want to get any paint inside that and or the barrel. Anything that you don't want paint on, I recommend taping. Any markings, if you're going to paint an optic, tape off the turrets. I'm going to be taping off the front sight post because obviously I don't want paint to get in front of there. I'm going to be taping off the rear sight post, again, same reason, and all the adjustment knobs. So this area is going to remain black. Now, I'm going to put the stock at the position that I like to shoot it at. And go ahead and paint part of the buffer tube. It's totally up to you if you want to do that. You can leave it collapsed or fully extended. I don't think it's going to hurt it either way. I will be taping off the trigger because I don't want to get any paint on my trigger. And especially under the magwell, you're going to either want to leave a magazine in so you can paint that magazine or tape it off completely. Again, and any other markings on here that you don't want painted, go ahead and tape off. The safety selector switch, if you want to do that, I don't think paint's going to really alter the function of that too much as long as you don't go too heavy around it. And I'll probably put a dab of paint on here where the optic sits in the carry handle just so that doesn't get occluded or clogged. Lastly, the chamber here, you can probably just leave closed. I doubt paint will get in there. And if you want to tape off any part of the charging handle to prevent paint from getting in there and sticking. But that's about it, guys. Prepping is going to be the key for your paint job. Colors, it's going to be totally up to you. Whatever pattern you want, whatever environment you live in, take some brush from the outside, some leaves, some twigs, make it your own. It's kind of personalized, so you can do whatever you want. Again, I'm going to do like a desert theme style, just because this is going to be a clone for like a Desert Storm era rifle for the competition and Lethal Weapons that I will be at in October. So if you're going to be down there in Lethal Weapons, Eagle Lake, Texas. So if you're going to be there, hit me up, guys. I'd love to talk to you. Anyways, I'm going to tape this off and we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so everything that I don't want paint to get into, I have taped off pretty well, I think. So again, the muzzle device, including the barrel tip there, you don't want to get any paint in there, so I taped that off. I taped off my bayonet lug attachment just in case I want to attach something. I don't want the specs to be out. That probably wouldn't matter anyways, but I went ahead and taped it off anyways. Obviously, my front sight post, you do not want to get any paint in there. The rear sight post I taped off pretty extensively because of all the adjustment knobs and the rear sight peeps there, so I don't want to get any paint in there. Honestly, there's a lot of clearance, so even if I did get paint inside there, it probably wouldn't make that big of a deal, but at least the rear sight post I want to keep clean. There's a QD attachment back here. I think I'm just going to leave that open. I don't think paint will get in there too heavily, and if it does, I might probably not use that anyways. Taped off my trigger, and of course the magazine well. You don't want to get any paint up in the internals. I left the dust cover fine because I think that will be okay. From what I've seen, other people don't really tape that off. Just leave the dust cover closed, and I wouldn't go too spray heavy over that area, just enough to coat it the color you want. One other thing some people do that I've seen is degrease their gun with some brake cleaner. This gun's pretty rough as it is, so I didn't do that, but that's an option if you want to do that so the paint sticks a little bit better. But I'm done. Let's prep. Let's get to painting this thing. So again, I'm starting with a sand color paint here, and this is going to be my base. And then I'm going to do some stripes with some darker browns and greens, and then highlight it with the mesh to give it some texture. Okay, so the base coat's been on there for about 15 minutes. It's pretty dry to the touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with some brown camouflage, and I've got some leaves and some brush from my area, and I'm just going to kind of lay this on top and overlap it, and then just spray on top. Let's see how she turns out. What do we think about it? What do you think about it? All right, guys, so the final product here, we have the completed desert theme. I may have gone a little too heavy on the green, but I think it turned out pretty well. Go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, guys, if you haven't done so already. Let me in the comments if there's any tips on painting rifles. The biggest thing I learned in this process is don't think too much about it. Just put the paint on there, get some stuff for your environment so you can get a nice little pattern. I think it turned out pretty well. I did end up leaving the magazines in the magwell after that, and kind of hit those with some paint as well, just to kind of match the aesthetics of the rifle. The tape did a fine job of keeping all the sights clean and free of paint. The muzzle device is clean, my trigger is clean. I don't think it would matter if you painted the trigger. Anyways, this is going to be used in a competition down in Eagle Lake, Texas at the ranch. I'm going to be shooting in a lethal weapons competition. This is my retro style build. Comment, let me know what you think. Any advice on painting rifles? This was my first one. I think it turned out pretty good. I do have that checkered pattern that came out pretty nice on there, some spots of the rifle. So I'm happy with it. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all guys on the next one.